Hi guys, this is a short video breakdown of Triple G versus David Lemieux. I chose this fight because it shows having a solid stance and doing the basics really well with a stiff jab against a pressure fighter can be more effective than anything fancy or complicated to win. Triple G broke a strong pressure fighter like David without using loads of footwork running around the ring. Triple G steps back, yeah, and he uses angles really well, but he fights fire with fire. He doesn't do anything fancy, he breaks David down with a stiff jab and does damage with his combinations and power punches. Triple G shows he has a far better jab than Lemieux, and how important it is to have a stiff jab. David was not able to land his punches because he became very hesitant to step forward as he walked onto Triple G's jab. Walking to a stiff jab like that is almost like a power punch. It doesn't take long before it will start breaking you down and doing damage. As David is not stepping with his punches, and Triple G's primary defense was stepping back, made an easy night for Triple G. He had much better control of distance. Showing the difference in quality between the two men here. When you see him land a jab, look at David's head and how it snaps back. It's as if it's like a right hand or a power punch. Now imagine walking into that while throwing a shot of your own. No wonder David was missing so much. Triple G's combinations again are very simple. You have double jabs, the 1-2, one, two, three. These are the basics you first teach people when they start boxing. These are not complicated, they're not fancy. It's like a hammer. As long as it's strong enough to do the job, you don't need anything fancy on a hammer. And Triple G has shown he does the basics really well, and they really do work. Triple G tries to land the right uppercut at the end of at least 2 rounds. I'm not sure if he was trying to set something up at the end of the round. Maybe he saw something and was trying to exploit it. But it seems odd if you have no time to follow up on it. And maybe it was just him showing that he can hit him as and when he wants to. And this will make David think twice about continuing. Who knows? I think the ref was well within his rights to take a point for the extra punch here. I wasn't expecting it from Triple G, to be honest. He was far ahead on the points and he was having a pretty easy fight, to be honest. So why get the ref involved? David could have made a much bigger deal and maybe forced the ref's hand a little. But David has a fighter's mentality. I know for sure a football player, or for you Americans a soccer player, he would be rolling around the ring going for the disqualification as he was already losing the fight. And that's the difference with boxing and other sports. When you have true fighters willing to fight the best in their division, it makes boxing the best sport in the world. But, anyway, moving on. Triple G did a decent amount of bodywork too. This would have drained David's stamina and made it much harder to block the head as he's having to protect the body from these nasty shots. It's only a 4-second clip, but shows how good Triple G's defense is, and what he did just throughout the fight. You need to slow it down to see how elite the boxing is. Now I've divided it into two sections. Triple G makes David miss his jab. He steps back on the first, which falls short. David then feints to the body and Triple G's head, but just misses again as Triple G steps back. David then does a 1-2, misses again with the jab, and then the right straight glances off his guard. Triple G was standing there, then David would have landed this big left, but it falls short because Triple G has pivoted out and resets again. Here is a perfect exchange for Triple G. Lands a jab, parries a counter, blocks the left hook to the body, and slips a hook to the head. Triple G's defense is really very basic. He steps back just enough for the punches to miss, showing expert reactions and depth perception. Triple G keeps his hands in a good position for blocking, and with the step backs it makes it really difficult for Lemieux to land anything clean. Stepping back only goes so far though, and Triple G needs to watch out. He's still in there with a power puncher. He angles out when he steps too. This takes his footwork to another level. He angles out and back to the left, and he keeps his shoulder in a solid position to block the right hand. By angling out in this way, he is near impossible to hit. The shoulder protects him from the right hand, and by moving left, it keeps him away from Lemieux's killer left hook. I have a few examples showing that angle of Triple G is ready and in position to block or roll the right hand. Here's a really good example of David committing to a right hand which connects with Triple G's shoulder. As he has the angle protecting his chin, it does glance into the temple area, but it does not cause any damage. If that had landed clean on the chin, it may have been a different story, which is why the shoulder positioning is just so important in boxing. Triple G doesn't move his head much in this fight. He doesn't need to, but he does do it occasionally. And if you follow this channel, you'll know how much I love the inside slip left hook counter to the jab, and this is what he does here. He also does a uppercut as well. It's almost like the techniques Triple G used are too simple to work, but it's not. He has excellent reaction time and does the basics to the highest level. I genuinely believe he could have won this fight using his jab and a few left hooks. That's how dominant and effective he was with his lead hand in this fight and the solid defense. Let me know what you think though. Do you agree with me that the basics done well can be the best strategy? Or disagree? Do you think you do need variety in your punches? Or the slick head movement or just something else? Just put it in the comments below.